What's up, you guys? This is Baby Mama Drama with your host, Destiny. Today we have with us Alexa Moore, good friend of mine.
Hello.
And we're going to get into it. I'm super excited. So I do want to mention a little bit about the podcast. I was inspired by kind of my own and other women's transitions from kind of like party life to mom life. And it happened so fast. I think that there's a lot to talk about. Going from living in a penthouse in Miami to back to the Midwest, being broke and homeless. There's a lot to be said there. So welcome to Baby Mama Drama, where we spill the tea on all things babies, mamas, and said drama. Let's get started. All right, so first I want to introduce to you guys Alexa Moore. She is an inspiring mother. I think she's amazing. So let's get into it. What's your name? What do you do? What's your business?
I'm Alexa, as you know. I met Destiny working at the strip club, 12 years ago, probably?
Actually, yeah, 20... Wait, hold on. Let's do math here. 2015?
Sounds about right.
About 10, 11 years ago? 2014 almost,
Yeah,
I think.
probably 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I started working at the VU in 2014, and I think that's when I originally met you. But I'm Alexa. I met Destiny working in the club, dancing. And basically what I do is I'm a registered nurse. I own my own business. I work in aesthetics. So more of like the beauty side of nursing, doing like Botox, fillers, things of that nature. I do Destiny's Botox.
Yes, if you ever wondered how I get my face to freeze so well, that
pretty
girl
frequently.
Right there. Yeah. I'm in there like swimwear.
And that's really about it. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I just want to mention, I think she's amazing. She's always been an inspiration to me. So she's always like had her shit together. Like if you ever look and you're wondering what she's doing, you probably won't find her like out shaking her ass. Maybe.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, I'm just
but no, she just always like had her stuff together. She works really hard. She went to school. And we talked a little bit about how you may have missed like a little bit of like maybe wanting to be more of that like outside girl life.
Yeah.
Because of college. But I just think whatever transition you went through, it was inspiring to me watching.
Oh, thank you.
So
thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we want to get into first? Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's mention, first of all, just because I want to mention this. Can we pull up her business website? If you want to get in contact, she does amazing work. We love her work. So Botox, aesthetics, everything face related, and more. This is her website. And then do you want to mention your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is basically the same thing. So Amoore Aesthetics. I don't know why people say Amoore.
I think it's
supposed to be like Amoore, but it's my name.
I think it's just the Spanish word amor. So they're trying to, that amor. Yeah. Can you do that? Tongue roll. I'm really bad at it. I know Spanish and I can't do it. So, but yes, she's amazing. Oh my gosh. And she's got all these new amazing photos of, her work. So go check her out.
Yeah. I don't really update. Well, I do update my website every so often, but Instagram's more up to date.
Also, should we mention you have some exciting things coming up?
Yes. I'm finally opening a med spa. So, if you've been seeing me. I've been just renting kind of a room. I am co-owner of 1029 Beauty Bar, but I just have a small room currently, and I've just outgrown the space, and I found a space in kind of the uptown area, more off the lake. I don't want to be politically incorrect. I don't know how to say it. Bade-Makaska.
Oh, Bade-Makaska.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so.
Gabe Grant, whatever your name is back there. Can we get some?
B-Day McCaska, I think is what it is.
Is that how you say it?
I think so. You're close, though.
What he said.
We're like Bidet Maca. Wow.
I don't want to say Calhoun because, I think...
You said it.
That's the lake, though.
As people know, I guess, Lake Calhoun, that area. So there'll be 4 treatment rooms and then 2 other injectors there. And then I'm hoping to get an esthetician. And yeah, we're shooting for March.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
I know.
That's coming up so quick. Yes. So if you know where she's at and know where she's located, this episode won't be out for another week or so. So by the time you hear this, she will be getting prepared to move locations. So just keep in mind.
Just a few miles away, though.
Yeah, so. Not far, but super exciting stuff. So I remember talking to you one time, and you had said something along the lines of, I don't know what my son's going to think about me, about my career choice. And I was like, girl, what are you talking about? You went to school. What do you mean? I don't. So
it's like, what does my mommy or what does your mommy do? Okay. You know, like my mommy's a nurse, but like not that kind of nurse.
Yeah, but okay. So here's the thing. So I did some digging. I did some research, you guys. So first off, I went to, I just typed in our friend Google.com. Do our kids care about our jobs, our careers? And lo and behold, the first article, that popped up was written by a man. Okay, sorry, but I had to say it. So we'll just share that one, and then we're going to go into some other ones. But it actually had some good insight. I don't hate men. I think men, men are parents too. So I'm not going to exclude them from the show completely, but we are going to focus on women. But I did want to share this article because it had some good stuff in there. So this article, can you bring that up? Dave Walker wrote this article. This is some guy that writes articles. I don't follow this website, but he's got some good stuff in here. So it says right away, here's a freeing thought. Your kids don't care about your job. They don't care whether you're important. They don't care whether your career isn't as advanced as you'd hope. They don't care that you make a mistake on your last project or didn't close that sale you've been nurturing. They don't care that the economy is looking weak and your gross revenue is down for the quarter. That is not what they look for in a parent. So right away, he just kind of goes into, they don't care. They just want to spend time with you when you get home from whatever said job, right? And then at the end, it said something good like, it's a good reminder. If you're stressed about work and life, burned by the past and haunted by the future, spend some time with your kids. They won't hassle you about finishing that novel you've been meaning to write, and they won't judge your career choices. They won't ask you for a 5-year plan. They don't care. They just want you to be present. So I thought that was such a good message, even though it's coming from a man. Because I think it's true. I think, we're always concerned. We want to be our kids' friends.
Yeah.
We want them to like us. We know they love us.
Right.
We want them to like us. We want to be the cool parent. Yeah. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we buy them the cool toys and, tell them we're an astronaut maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so we always want our kids to like us. But I thought that was really interesting from a man. And then I was doing some more research and I'm like, wait, what about stay-at-home moms? That's still a job.
I could never do it.
And this is exactly what we're going to talk about. Okay. So this is an article from BuzzFeed. It's actually pretty recent. It was published February 20th of 2024. And this has a bunch of stay-at-home moms commenting and telling it all, like what they actually feel like. So the first one says, when my husband and I made the decision for me to be a stay-at-home mom, I didn't realize how I actually viewed the role. When people asked what I did for a living, I felt slight shame in not having a career. It wasn't until I started talking to other mothers that I realized being a stay-at-home mom is a dream to some. What do you think about that?
I would rather walk into traffic than to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't know. Like, when people say like, oh, being a stay-at-home mom is equivalent to like 5 full-time jobs, I just don't really buy that. I just think it's more mentally exhausting and very toxic because you need healthy space and boundaries from your kids. And I think the way I get adult and human interaction is by going to work and stuff like that. And I just have those healthy boundaries. But obviously I know being a mom is hard, but like try being a mom who owns a business, who's the sole provider and has to pay for daycare and only gets to work certain hours because of daycare and your schedule solely revolves around them. I don't think being a stay-at-home mom is equivalent to 5 full-time jobs or whatever they say that quote is.
That is the argument. And I have some insight. We're frozen in here, by the way. I have some insight on what that looks like for me, like being being stuck at home. Mm-hmm. And then I also have insight on having like a full-time job.
Yeah.
So, and going to school with having a child. And they're both very different. So I actually can side with some of the point of raising a child is similar to having, I think 2 children is more like having a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I think that's true. That's like the statistic or whatever. We don't have to be technical, but the point being, kids are hard. Like I spent the last 2 months, really didn't work a whole ton, took some time off for holidays, getting school back together and going, and then the podcast too. So, I've been busy, but I spent a lot of time at home. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go out with friends. I really just did the holiday thing, and I sat my ass down for like 3-4 weeks. And what I realized is, that not getting out of the house and not having space from your child can cause so many issues. I noticed from being home more that he's just more needy. It's almost like if mom's not home, like, what's going to happen? But he's also like very independent and likes to do his own thing. So, it's hard to say because all kids are different also. Some kids are really easy.
Yeah, and my kid's not. He's always been difficult. So
I'd much rather be at work.
Yeah, no.
No, but also I think it's important to have some kind of, not said discipline necessarily, but some kind of outside structure from like a babysitter or someone that's not your parent. Yeah. Because I think that helps enforce what parents' rules are. Yeah. When you have that outside like babysitter or
like routine.
Yes. So I do think it's important to implement that. For all you moms, stay-at-home moms, I feel you. Let me just say that because it is hard. So I, again, was home quite often the past few weeks. I would clean the house, Lex, like top to bottom, okay? Scrubbing like corners and like the trim. Yeah. I'm literally like, we just moved. So, it's beautiful and I just wanted to stay clean. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. That it doesn't happen with the toddler. No. Like you could clean from the minute, which I do, from the second I wake up until after he goes to sleep. And it's still the second he wakes up, he actually dumps out the toy bins. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen him do that at your place.
My kid still does it. Yeah.
Maybe you got it from Ace. I don't know. But yeah, he just loves to dump it out. He loves, okay, so lately his new word is clean up. He goes, eat up. That's how he says clean up. It's so fucking cute. But he doesn't understand what that actually means. So he'll say clean up and then dump his toys out. And I'm like, that's not what we're doing here. But anyways, so yes, being a stay-at-home mom is not easy, but I do agree with you that having a career and raising a child is more difficult. Yeah. I think you have to have more structure and more responsibility. Yeah. And that can be what also makes it more difficult. But then I'm always afraid that I'm missing out on time with my kid because they don't stop growing.
Right. And I think there's no like happy fair medium. Like you're always going to have like that mom guilt. Because I mean, more recently I've been working, like 9 to 7 where I get home and it's basically like I give him a bath. He lays down with me in bed and like he goes to bed. So, but I know at the end of the day, like I am a good mom, but it's just absolutely. Like, it's just, you always have that mom guilt. Yeah. So
Yeah. So then there's some other really good ones on here I gotta share. Okay, so I thought I would love it. This other lady says Sprivy is who I don't know. That's just a name, I guess. Sprivy said, I thought I would love it, and I am glad I got to stay home with my kids when they were small. But it's incredibly lonely and isolating having no adults to talk to all day. Can you imagine talking baby all day?
No.
And the only people you get to talk to are small kids who have constant needs. You get completely taken for granted by everyone in your own life and have no resources of your own.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That part. So I think like getting taken advantage of and taken for granted. So I feel like, okay, don't come for me, men. But I think sometimes they do take advantage of stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
Because I have a job too, but like I understand that stay-at-home life because I've been able to experience it. And I will say that this is so true. Oh my gosh. It's so like you feel lonely. And you how do you feel lonely? You have your kid there, but it's like you don't have that outside like connection. And I'm a hermit, so I actually love being inside, like
same
from everybody.
Same. But like for instance, over like winter break, he had like 7 consecutive days off. And then the weekend where I'm like, okay, 9 days together is too much. So I went to work.
Yeah.
Like he stayed with his dad and I went to work because I'm like, if I have to sit in the house with you another day, I'm going to walk into traffic.
And we love our babies, okay? Don't get us fucked up. But too much of anything is a bad thing.
It's overwhelming. It's overstimulating too. And my kid doesn't nap. He's just like wired 24/7. And like somebody who's an introvert and has to deal with this like obnoxious behavior, like gets to be way too overstimulating. And that's why I think like daycare is so healthy. And me going to work and having that space is healthy. Because like you said, too much of anything gets to be like too much.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And there's all different kinds of opinions. Like there's obviously this can go so many different ways with so many different situations. But coming from, I would say, a single mother's perspective, especially not having a partner, it is so much harder to do it all on your own. But, and then single moms, you don't really have an option to like, someone's got to pay the bills. Right. How are you going to stay home and pay the bills unless you're doing TikTok, which is that, or is that a thing? Is TikTok, are we still
up and running?
It's back up. But yeah, anyways, so let's go into the next. I think there's 1 or 2 more that I just wanted to share quickly. Okay, so this lady, Too Many Kids, Not Enough Time is her name. Is her little what is that called? Like pseudonym? Gabe Grant?
Pseudonym.
Pseudonym,
yeah.
Well, this lady, or I'm
which number is it?
Woman 5, number 5.
It's so cold.
Hands are cold. You guys, we are in the Midwest, and it is like -30 outside. So
it's cold in the building.
Yeah,
actually.
This building is cold. Studio's a little cold, so if you hear us bitching,
it's just my nose.
My fingers.
We can turn on that, like the fireplace before. It's just like it messes with the sound quality, so I get whatever up my ass about it.
We'll be all right.
No, turn it on.
Do you want to turn it on?
It's like the center button.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go.
There you go.
We'll be all right. All right. So, this lady called herself Too Many Kids, Not Enough Time. That would never be my name. Love kids, but don't ever want too many.
One's company, two's a crowd.
I agree. Okay, so I love being a stay-at-home mom. It's exhausting at times, but incredible. My house is a disaster because I never get time to clean since I'm constantly with my kids. I also homeschool them. First of all,
no.
What?
Why?
How? That's so much work. But okay, it's been wonderful being a stay-at-home mom and taking my kids to every appointment they have, especially the twins, and 3 or 4 times a week therapy appointments we did for their first 3 years. Wow. There are times I'm lonely, but now I've got stay-at-home mom friends, and we try to get together with our kids. Being home and hearing my kids' first words for the first time they walk, or the first time they walked, was an incredible joy that I never experienced before, especially walking because we work so hard on that. Okay, so yes, being at home and getting to experience all of those things, I will say it's pretty amazing. I love that I was able to have like a schedule where I was home quite often the past couple of years, even with school. Like, I will not complain. All the time I was at home was spent with my son. And I did get to witness, you know, his first steps and first words. So I guess I didn't really miss any of that, being working and going to school. What do you think? Did you ever?
I don't think I missed much because, again, we still spend so much time together because I don't go out. Like, I don't do anything on the weekends. Like, we do have, like, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday together where I make it a point, like, every Sunday to do, like, an activity with him and stuff like that and just really spend, like, quality time where I don't feel like I've missed out on his life at all.
Yeah.
Or any, like, milestones, I guess. So.
Yeah. I think if you manage your time well, I think you can do it all.
Absolutely.
I will say it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't recommend this for everyone.
I think each position comes with their own struggles, though, too. Like I said, like me personally, I don't think being a stay-at-home mom with the help of like my significant other would be the same equivalence to 5 full-time jobs or whatever they think, because I guess I've never experienced that position, but my position is being the sole provider, paying for everything, and, you know, being a full-time mom all on my own, where I just think that in my head, it seems more challenging.
Yeah.
And more like 5 full-time jobs.
You're like, you will never catch me stuck at home. Guys, I will always have a job. Lex is she's a working woman.
Even on my off days, I'm like...
Trap her.
On my off days when I bring him to daycare, like... Mondays and Wednesdays are my off days. I feel so guilty where I'm like, I have to be doing something. Like, I need to be grocery shopping or whatever the case might be.
I think we put that pressure on ourselves because I remember the other day you saying, well, when I came to see you for my book talks, this girl said, when I'm at home and I don't have anything to do, I like to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, just rot in my bed.
But there's nothing wrong with that, you guys. Moms need time for themselves too. And if that time consists of just sitting on our ass in bed watching our favorite show,
right,
then fuck. Let it be. Okay? We don't need to go to the store. We might order Instacart that day. All right? Don't throw shade. Anyways, all right. No, great point. And then I think there was one in here that I was reading. I hope I can find it quick. And she was like, I hated it.
I think I might have that one.
Do you? Which one? Which number is it?
It's, well, I guess I have like number 14 is one I pulled out, and number 10, 14, and 9 are the ones that I saw are the most like.
I think it was 10 I was looking at, but let me check again. Yeah. So number 10 is by R.E. Powell. I have 3 young children at home, and spontaneity. How do you say that word? Spontaneity. I swear I can talk. I just can't say that word. Okay, I have 3 young children at home, and spontaneity is not in my vocabulary.
Yours either.
It's not in mine. Being spontaneous is what she's trying to say that I can't say. Don't call last minute to see if I can go out unless you have a babysitter with you. I love being at home with my kids, but it's a 24/7 job. The kids are up early, need things constantly, and are awake overnight, and you spend every moment planning, preparing, or playing referee. I only have one, so I don't play referee, but I can imagine, like, growing up with my 4 little brothers, like, we were always beating each other up. Mm-hmm. It was kind of funny. My brothers posted something the other day, and he was like, remember when we just beat each other? I was like, yeah.
No, but what she said right there, too, by the end of the day, I'm touched out, talked out, worn out, but still feel really lonely.
Oh, yeah, at the end. By the end of the day, I'm touched out, talked out, worn out, but I still feel really... Can we talk about that, the touched out part? Okay, I love giving my baby affection, but I just don't even want to be touched by anybody, because I just feel like I gave all of my affection, away.
Well, and also, too, just for me, for what I do, when I deal with so many people on a consistent basis, my job consists of people pleasing and talking and putting on a happy face. When I get home, my social battery is drained. Again, I just want to go home and rot in my bed. And like, even if he's just on his iPad, like touching me with his feet, I'm just like, quit fucking touching me. Like, yeah, like I just want my space. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to like rot.
Yeah, it's valid. It's a valid thing, honestly. I think our career, whatever, or retire, but those kids, they don't go away. They're with you, until they're 18 or however set age in whatever country you're in, whatever. But, that I just find it so incredible. Like harmonizing the two. So that's why I find you so inspiring, because I'm like, she just does it effortlessly. Oh my gosh.
Destiny, can I throw up one more of those that I found that I think is very, like, I'd be curious how you guys would respond to it.
Absolutely.
Because I think this is actually kind of on the nose, even though it's different. So let's see what you guys think. So right there on screen.
Okay, so number 9 says, I worked as an attorney. I was just reading this one. I worked as an attorney before becoming a stay-at-home mom. As an attorney, I received respect and accolades for the work that I did. I discovered that being a stay-at-home mom was more work, harder work, and longer hours. However, I received very little respect and appreciation for these efforts. Our society seems to default to dismissing the incredible contribution stay-at-home moms make. And then at the end, it says, stay-at-home moms perpetuate our species, shape and mold human beings that will be our future, and give all of themselves to the betterment of these little human beings. Their efforts should be respected more than a profession that makes money off of conflicts of others. There's a lot said there.
Are there a lot of like hot chick parallels? Is what I'm saying. So like you were appreciated as, in a different way, right?
No, absolutely. I think in entertainment industry, especially, like people respect you for what you look like and, how you show up and your presence and your social battery. Like you can't be, a mule around people. But honestly, I don't know how I feel about comparing it to the workload. I think it's just as much work. I don't know that it's more.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. To each their own, I guess.
Hold on. Being a mom is harder or as hard as being a hot chick, or vice versa?
No. She's talking about being an attorney and how she's comparing her career to being a stay-at-home mom.
I gotcha. I was trying to get parallels to you, I guess. I'm sorry. That I just misinterpreted.
I guess just like, being a hot girl, whatever. Like I guess I don't understand your parallel there.
How do you see, like, you were appreciated for, you got a lot of attention, and not that you don't now, right? But I mean, it's probably different in your head. I mean, we talked about that the first day a little bit, that you went from being a party girl and a whatever to now all of a sudden you're at home. Do you feel less appreciated in general?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. So, working, being in the public eye, being like, out at the club, whatever, that was my job. I was a bartender, server, dancer, whatever. I was face first. You had, my face and my body. That is my advertisement. I was respected because I worked very hard on that, on my appearance and how I showed up for these things, events, whatever. And then becoming a mom, I lost some of that. I feel like I almost lost some like respect for that part of myself that was so willing to be like out there and make mistakes and, try things. Where as a mom now, I have a lot less range. Like I'm not willing to take a lot of the same risks that I would have prior to having my son.
Right.
So I can see where she says like society seems to default dismissing the incredible contribution. Because yes, being a stay-at-home mom is hard, but also having a career and raising a child, I think it's more difficult.
Yeah, it's harder. Yeah.
How many less text messages did you guys get on a daily basis when you went from full-on party girl to, to mom? Like basically, like, I mean, how many people dropped out of your life, would you say?
Like 90%.
Yeah.
Of acquaintances, but I wouldn't say dropped out completely. They'll still hit me up here and there, but I don't go anywhere. I'm not outside. So it's not like they can hit me up and be like, hey, meet me here. Like, nope, you gotta book me, honey. I gotta find a babysitter. I gotta schedule. My kids got a schedule. It's not, but I was called. I think I got phone calls from like a couple of my, what do I call them? Party friends. For like 2 years after I had my son, till just recently.
I've always never really hung out with anybody, so I don't know. Nothing's changed for me.
I'm just a loner. I've always
been. Like I really am. Like I never, not that I never went out, but like I never really did. I just like always have just gone to work, come home. Work was like my fun time when I worked in the club, and I didn't really go out. I mean, I really have always had the same like small group of friends, and that was really it. Yeah.
I think that's why I admire her so much, is because she never fell into like the party group, or like you never saw her out doing something she wasn't supposed to do. She was very responsible.
I also though, I started going to nursing school in 2015. So like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I did my MA, my LPN, then my RN. So like I was always like really disciplined when it came to like balance between like the club and going to school and doing what I had to do.
School that early.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because I graduated with my RN in 2019, and then my LPN in 2017, and then my MA in 2014.
Oh my gosh.
2015.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I always like felt like I had to have like that balance and responsibility, which is probably why I never really like went out and stuff too, because nursing school in a whole it consumes your life.
It does. I'm realizing that like right now. So, but yes, I have always looked up to her because she's never, I was outside, you guys. I was on yachts. I was doing things you probably can't mention now that I'm a mom. No, actually I'm joking. I have tons of stories we'll get to later. Anyways, so do we want to share any more of these? There's so many.
I think there was another one I got, but that's
I have one. So this is on, back to our mothers, our stay-at-home moms. So this one, number 18, could you share that one?
Let me look. Yeah, I got to grab it, so it'll take me a second, but
no worries. I'm just going to start reading. First, a disclaimer that I have more privilege than so many folks. I have a master's degree, but my husband earns enough that we don't need my much smaller income. It's really hard to justify putting my kids in full-time childcare in order for me to work just to send my salary to the daycare. I completely relate with this. We'd have less time together, and the cooking, laundry, and household management would be so hard to keep up with. I feel guilty almost daily for not using my degree, but I really think our family benefits from me being home. So I guess the part of this I agree with so much is I try and be home as much as possible, only because daycare is very expensive. We have been lucky and we found some pretty good, amazing daycare. I did before I moved. So we've been lucky to find like affordable daycare, but for the 99% of the rest of the world that just has to do, whatever they can find, or the closest, whatever the case may be. It is so hard. I feel like a lot of times I'm just working to pay daycare.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been very fortunate.
We've been really lucky. We have a tight little knit family group, I guess. I don't know. Just find your tribe, because daycare is expensive. I think that this lady has a lot to say about she's educated. She could have a career, but that is a part that I do agree with, that it's so expensive. It's almost worth it to just stay home and make sure everything's done.
Right.
Than to leave and expect nothing to get done. The kids are cared for, but the house isn't clean. The dishes aren't done. The laundry's not done. And you're coming home to a mess that you're paying someone else to watch your kids for. But
that works for their family dynamic. You know what I mean? Where this is, all these situations are just so like to each their own type of thing. Like,
They are, especially because the disclaimer right away, she's like, I have more privilege. I have a man, basically she's saying she has a man that pays the bills. So she has that option, which I think is amazing. I think if you find a significant other and he's a healthy person to raise your children with, and he gives you that option and you can work or not work, then I think this is a great option for a woman that has that opportunity. We know that many don't, and that's what we're more focused on. But
how did you guys build your tribes? And like, do you have family in the area? Like, how did that work for you?
So for us, when I moved back, I immediately was just like hitting up a couple of girls that I used to like talk to or grow up with, like in the industry, especially ones that like had kids.
Yeah.
I think it was just easy for me to go straight to Lex and be like, hey, like, first of all, she has a career that I eventually want to have, which is another magnetic characteristic, I guess you'd say, that you have that I'm attracted to.
Yep.
But also just, she's so, like, she holds herself together so well that I've always wanted to, like, stay in contact with you, but never wanted to press or pry and be like, bitch, we're hanging out.
Yeah.
So never did that. So, but I think for me, it was just finding those people that didn't give up on you, even when I moved away and came back. And those people that are supportive, even from afar. And just, they've been there this whole time. Like, she's been there this whole time. We were never super close, but we hung around some of the same people, and we really have the same, I think, similar goals or outlooks on like boundaries and things, where it was easy for me to be like, hey, Lex, like, what do you do for childcare? And like, what's going on in that area of your life?
Yeah. And Mercedes was obviously a big help too. Oh my God, it's fine. Which is a girl who lived with me. She watched like a bunch of the dancers' kids and stuff. So she was a really big help to a lot of the girls. And then I've gotten really fortunate with childcare, where I only pay $170 a week for full-time childcare, which is very affordable nowadays.
Is her back better?
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh. So yeah, I'm very fortunate. And I would say my family helps out a little bit, but I'm not somebody to ask for help. So that's like my hardest thing. I don't know, but my siblings, they're just a mess. And my sister doesn't take care of her kids. And my mom has my niece full time and stuff too. So like, I really don't like to ask my mom for help, but my son's dad's family is a good help. He's one of 15 grandkids, and he comes from a good family. So they're a good help.
Yeah. So I think finding your tribe really just has to do with like, what do you have in your life? What are you presented with? Who's around you that doesn't mind helping and like, I don't know, wants to be in your life? There's people that do. Sometimes when you're in that position, it feels like there's nobody and like you're out of luck, like you're shit out of luck. That's how I felt, because I felt so hard after I had my son. You guys, I was homeless. Like, I had nowhere to go, and I had $100 to my name.
Oh my gosh.
It was so sad. But I just picked up and I went to the people that I knew had my back, and I just figured it out. And that's all you can do.
I think as a mom, though, you always figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Mercedes was, if she ever sees this, I just love you so much. And I miss you. Call me. But yeah, she has been amazing these past 2 years. I don't know that I would even be here if it weren't for Mercedes.
Right.
So, yes, we just really held on to each other and like reach out when you're struggling. That's really all it is. So yeah, so I think we're going to move on to my next little note here. So I loved that BuzzFeed article just because there's so many different moms. But I wanted to get to this last article, and I do have to mention this was a study from 2011. So it's a little old, but it had some good information. This is the Working Moms Feel Better Than Stay-at-Home Moms. And this is a study done. It's on the American Psychological Association website, EP.1. But it is from 2011. So, but regardless, we're going to talk about it. This article says mothers with jobs tend to be healthier and happier than moms who stay at home during their child's infancy and preschool years, according to a new old study published by the American Psychological Association. So this one says women or working moms have reported that they are happier. I think it's just because they're getting out of the fucking house, to be honest with you. But I liked this article because it says this. Since part-time work seems to contribute to the strength and well-being of families, it would be beneficial to employers if they provide fringe benefits at least proportionally to part-time employees, as well as offer them career ladders through training and promotion. I think that's like, for me, I am a part-time stay-at-home, part-time work in school. So I think any like incentive to do better at any job is going to be a good thing. Mm-hmm. But especially when you have, restrictions as far as you have how many kids and you can only do this at this time and they have this going on a schedule, whatever. I think really it just comes back to that whole thing of being prepared and creating a schedule and being organized. And I think if you do that, and then throw in your job or something you enjoy doing, sometimes I think it has to be something you like. I couldn't imagine working at a job I hated and raising kids.
Right.
So I think that's miserable. That's important. But if you're organized and you have shit going for you, I don't think working is hard. It's the childcare that becomes difficult, I think. But I did like this little article that said, and like I said, it's a little bit old, but this gives you another perspective of what's better. And like we had mentioned before, I think it really just depends on
your situation.
Here's your own situation. Mm-hmm. So lastly, I have a couple more things. Okay, she's got to run, so I'm going to wrap this up. Can we say goodbye to Lex really quick?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for being here.
I know, sorry.
We started a little bit late, and that just happens sometimes. So, really, really grateful that you came on the show, and I'm so excited to get this going. And I just wanted to say I appreciate you for being there.
Of course. I'm very proud of you and your growth.
Thank you. So all those that are watching, can you throw up her Insta or her @ really quick? Just follow her and be sure to check out her business, Amoore Aesthetics. And yeah, she's got tons of services that all make you beautiful. So check them out.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. So my amazing co-host had to get out of here, but I did want to finish this episode with just a couple things. I have one more article. I really like this article from MSN. Do we have time? Can I share that?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so this last article is called Kids of Working Moms Grow into Happy Adults. So I found this so fascinating because there's so many parts to it. Let's get into it. So this article is on MSN.com, story by The Amazing Times, and actually it says that it was first written by some lady at Harvard. Hold on, let me make sure I have this right. Yes, Harvard Business School professor Kathleen McGinn. This is a study by her. Anyways, so this article says, Kathleen McGinn and colleagues discovered that adult kids of working moms are high achievers at work. Now it turns out they are happy too. So it does go in to say that this is mostly about daughters of working mothers seem to be more, I guess, I don't know how you would say it, determined and more career driven than boys.
Oh, as setting like an example or whatever, probably, huh?
Yeah, so working moms set like a really good example for their children in general, but it goes to say in the article that, here, let's just find it, that boys weren't as affected by having either a stay-at-home mom or a mom with a career as women. So the daughters actually had a much higher rate of not getting a career, not going after said career, versus daughters of women who did have a career. So it says, compared to women whose mothers stayed home full time, women raised by an employed mother are 1.21 times more likely to be employed, 1.29 times more likely to supervise others at work, and they spend 44 extra minutes at their jobs each week. They also earn more money. Among the women who responded to the survey in the United States, this is 2012, employed daughters of employed moms earn an average of almost $2,000 per year more than employed daughters of moms who stayed home full time. And then it goes into, what about sons? Like, I have a boy. What about our little boys?
Right.
And it says, only adult daughters, not sons, see their mother's careers influenced by whether their mothers work outside the home. It may not affect sons' employment choices simply because men tend to be employed. And also, as other research shows, sons' occupations and earnings map closely to their father's employment. So I just found this super fascinating.
Interesting. It's kind of like, it's kind of confusing. Like, at first I thought I totally got it. Now I'm like, oh, it's not quite as straightforward as I thought.
Yeah, I actually had to read this article a couple times to get it too. But I think mostly because I'm thinking, well, kids in general, but it really goes into, if you're a daughter of a stay-at-home mom, yes, in the workplace, daughters of employed mothers, there we go, what I just read. And then I think daughters of stay-at-home moms, they just have a little bit less almost ambition to go after a career. And I assume that's because, they're watching mom just
that makes total, actually, this part makes total sense to me. I think I was confused about the boys thing or something, but because it says that it makes the boys pitch in more at home.
Yeah, so I
interesting.
really liked that. I'm glad you brought that up. So, let's see. I just want to find the part for girls using the guilt. Hold on, I think I have it written in my notes. We'll just say this. So now the full study has been released. It brings even more good news for the children of working moms. They wind up just as happy as the children of moms who stayed home. So they are saying that they're just as happy.
But more ambitious in the workplace.
Yes, but if you do have a mother with a working mom, that you're more ambitious and you make more money.
Yes.
As a daughter.
And actually, what's really interesting, so I had a stay-at-home mom. What was your situation? My
mom worked, but then she went to prison. So.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So off book. But anyway,
that's a whole nother story.
For mine, what I would say, that tracks the whole thing that kids with a working mom tend to pitch in more at home. Because I'll just say straight up, like, I went to college, I didn't know how to do laundry or make fucking noodles.
But you had a stay-at-home mom? She didn't teach you that stuff?
Fuck no. She did everything for us.
Oh, okay.
Everything. And, like, to where she wouldn't allow us in the kitchen. Wouldn't allow. So, like, I looked at my college roommate. He's like my best friend. He's doing laundry the first week. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, how do you know how to do laundry, you dork? Like, I was like looking down at him. That's how, like, whatever, out of it I was. Yeah. I was completely spoiled in that way. Yeah,
and I guess it's funny that you said your mom doesn't like you in the kitchen, because when I'm cooking, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want this, like, little truck rolling over my feet. I don't want...
Yes.
I don't want to cross elbows with you or spill something. I'm just,
But be careful with it. Because for real, it held me back. Like, I feel like it was a bad thing. And my ex, who, hey... tons of water under the bridge there, right? But a great thing she does is bring the kids into the kitchen and, like, has them. So, like, from an early age, they're, like, making food.
See, that was me. When I was growing up, my mom was always in the kitchen. Oh, my God. I love that about her. She taught me how to cook. Thanks, Mama. But she did that, too. She would have us, like, help her. I'm the oldest of 5. So I was in there helping her, like, measuring everything out. So she taught me how to do that. She had patience, something that I lack.
Oh, I struggle with it sometimes, too.
I am so bad, especially when I'm trying to cook a meal. I'm just like, get out of here. Let me get this done. I'm hungry. I know you're hungry. But it is. I think I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start inviting my 2-year-old to help me cook.
all that stuff. I think that's great. Yeah.
I think it is. Another little side note here in this article. Let's see. It said the influence of mothers' employment on their daughters' careers is less important when girls see a lot of other women with jobs, because these women can act as alternative role models. For sons, however, their own mother's employment is critical to how much they pitch in with their own children, even when they are raised around a lot of other employed women. I thought that was fascinating.
That is.
Yeah. So if you are, let's see, employment on their daughters, women with jobs. So if you're a working mom, it looks like
their mother's employment is critical to how much they pitch in with their own children.
It looks like if they're working, then they pitch in more. Is that what it
looks like? Yeah. When the mom works, that means the son will grow up to pitch in more at home.
It's such an interesting,
it makes sense to me. I think stay-at-home moms end up doing too much for their kids because it's frustrating to let them do shit because they make fucking messes, right? I know for me, when I get into doing everything for them mode, it's out of frustration. No, you just
you know, at your last
you just sit there, I'll do it kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's such bullshit, but yeah.
But also, we're just trying to do our jobs.
Yeah, we're just trying to survive. I'm just trying to live out here. For real.
No, but yeah, such a great article. So yeah, we've covered all the things. Kids of working moms growing to happy adults, and do our kids really actually give a shit about what we do for work? I think maybe as kids get older and, it's a bullying thing. I think that may have some kind of aspect to it where, oh, your dad's a firefighter. Well, my mom is an aesthetic nurse or whatever.
There's always that stuff though. Always. Yeah. Always
but comparison. At the end of the day, I don't think they care. They love you and they just want to spend time with you after you're finished with whatever said work you've got going on.
Have you ever seen a child of a loving parent reject their parent completely? You know what I mean? Because of any outside thing. Well, yeah, she treats me really well and takes care of me and I love her, but fuck, she works as a secretary, so fuck her.
No.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen.
So, yeah, no. I'm I can't think of anyone. I definitely have heard of people knocking their parents. Well, my parents did this or whatever, but I just... Yes. It's a job.
They're going to shit on you. They're absolutely going to shit on us, no matter what.
Oh, yeah. That's hard to accept, I'm actually kind of, I shouldn't say I'm looking forward to it. I'm just kind of curious as to, what my son will say one day.
That's what I thought until my son was 7, and the first time he ever cocked off, back to me. It was so shocking because we are just tapped in. We are, the same person. So for him to, cock off to me out of nowhere, it was just
You're
what?
Excuse me?
But we're the same. How could it... It's fucked up, yeah.
You're you are my little twin.
Uh-huh.
I did that.
Yes. And we're the same. And I understand what you're saying, but, it's, yeah.
Exactly. No, our kids do become like us, whether we like it or not. That's why it's very important to set good boundaries and, be a good example. Everyone makes mistakes, so don't beat yourself up out there, parents. Seriously, every day is a new day. But try your best. That's all. Super excited to get the show on the road and get this going. Thank you all for joining me for my first episode of the Baby Mama Drama Podcast. If you haven't already, I would love for you to follow us on Instagram, Spotify, actually, and coming soon, probably by the time you hear this episode, Facebook too. So if you know of somebody also that you find inspiring, a mother you find inspiring, or just someone you think that would be fun to have on the show, send me an email at thebabymamadramapodcast@gmail.com. I will get your email and we can go from there. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Today's been so much fun, and we'll see you next time.